Donald Trump se vuelve contra Pete Hegseth mientras estalla la guerra. Señores, lo que Donald Trump acaba de hacer, sin exagerar, es el paso más peligroso y más perturbador que ha dado hasta ahora en lo que es la escalada ilegal hacia la guerra con Irán. Ya sabíamos que estaba mintiendo, que estaba actuando como un dictador, pero en esta última publicación en Truth Social es un nuevo nivel de locura. Porque no solo se contradice a sí mismo, sino que también desmiente en público a su propio secretario de Defensa, Pete Hegseth, y encima a J.D. Vance. Lo hace con errores de ortografía, con frases incoherentes y con cero seriedad. Antes de irnos a mostrarles esa barbaridad que escribió, quiero que escuchemos lo que dijo hoy el senador Tim Kaine, porque amigos, nos da el contexto mucho más claro de por qué es que esto es tan grave.
Look, America was lied into a war in 2002 against Iraq with a Republican administration giving us false information about Iraq's weapons program. I have grave concern that we're going down the same path. Donald Trump's own national security officials have stated that Iran was not close to having a nuclear weapon. And Shannon, just Friday night, the Israeli foreign minister said that its bombing campaign over the last 9 days had set back the Iranian nuclear program by at least 2 or 3 years. There was no imminent threat to the United States from this nuclear program. It was an offensive war of choice by a president without consultation with Congress. We're going to have the briefing this week. We'll have a vote. I know many Republicans will fall in line and say a president can do whatever he wants, but I hope members of the Senate and the House will take their Article I responsibility seriously and say, you didn't even notify us, much less get an authorization. The U.S. should not be at war without a vote of Congress.
Ok amigos, hablemos claros. Nos están mintiendo en la cara. El ataque de Trump contra Irán no solo es ilegal porque se saltó el Congreso como si fuese su patio trasero. Es ilegal porque no tiene evidencia ni inteligencia que respalde lo que está haciendo. Y eso es justamente lo que Kaine está tratando de explicarnos. No es que Donald Trump haya actuado rápido porque había una amenaza inminente, tal y como nos quiso vender Pete Hegseth. No es que lo hizo para protegernos, como lo insinúa J.D. Vance. Para nada, amigos. Lo hizo porque no puede presentar pruebas, no tiene sustento, no puede convencer al Congreso con hechos, así que simplemente decide ignorarlo. Tal y como actúa un dictador, el dictador Donald. Y ahora amigos, vamos con los clips de Pete Hegseth y J.D. Vance, porque las mentiras que ellos soltaron quedan expuestas con la publicación que Trump hizo después.
My first question, Mr. Vice President, is the United States now at war with Iran?
No, Kristen, we're not at war with Iran. We're at war with Iran's nuclear program. And let me just say, Kristen, that we're incredibly grateful and proud of the American Air Force pilots who did an incredible job last night. The operation was really extraordinary. These guys flew from Missouri. They didn't land a single time. They dropped 30,000-pound bombs on a target the size of a washing machine and then got back home safely without ever landing in the Middle East or ever stopping other than to briefly refuel. And of course, they did that in the air. So it's really an incredible operation, a testament to the power of American military. And I think what shows what can happen when you have that great American military in the hands of capable presidential leadership. What we did is we destroyed the Iranian nuclear program. I think we set that program back substantially, and we did it without endangering the lives of the American pilots. That's an incredible thing, and I think we all should be proud. Whatever our politics, we should be proud of what these guys accomplished. A very, very high-impact mission under a lot of pressure.
Me? Yeah. So, is regime change off the table, Mr. Secretary? And to the chairman, you said the battle damage assessment is still ongoing, but do you believe that some nuclear capability in Iran remains?
This mission was not and has not been about regime change. The president authorized a precision operation to neutralize the threats to our national interests posed by the Iranian nuclear program and the collective self-defense of our troops and our ally Israel.
Thanks for your question.
J.D. Vance nos dijo, esto no se va a escalar. Fue una acción militar puntual, una y se acabó. Pete Hegseth salió a asegurarnos, no hay intención de cambio de régimen, no queremos eso. Bueno, ¿qué publica Trump horas después? No es políticamente correcto hablar de cambio de régimen. Pero si el régimen actual no puede hacer a Irán grande de nuevo, ¿por qué no habría un cambio de régimen? O sea, ¿hacer a Irán grande otra vez? ¿Magia ahora? Como si eso no fuese lo suficiente, remata ese post con esta joyita. Los grandes pilotos del B-2 acaban de aterrizar sanos y salvos en Missouri. Gracias por un trabajo bien hecho. Donald J. Trump, presidente de los Estados Unidos. Donald. Así que ese es el nuevo nombre presidencial. Bueno, pues no me sorprendería que veamos a Pete Hegseth subiendo fotos haciendo un cake stand celebrando el éxito de la misión. Es tan ridículo, ¿no? Como aterrador. Señores, esta gente no tiene seriedad, no tiene la preparación y aún menos el sentido común para poder manejar una situación así. Lo más irónico de todo esto es que Trump lo hizo pensando que le iba a servir, ¿no? Para subir en las encuestas, pero sorpresa, hasta los suyos lo están abandonando. Gente como Marjorie Taylor Greene, como Tucker Carlson, como Alex Jones, se están dando cuenta del desastre que él está provocando. Porque una cosa es mentir en campaña, otra muy distinta es romper tus promesas y empujar al país a una guerra por puro capricho. Lo que está pasando, amigos, no solo es una traición a sus votantes, es una violación a la ley. Por eso es tan importante lo que denunció el congresista Adam Schiff en este clip.
It is very possible, and I think we have to anticipate, Iran now kicks out any inspectors, it leaves the Non-Proliferation Treaty, and if it wasn't in a sprint for a bomb, it is now going to engage in a sprint for the bomb. So a lot of uncertainty. Finally, this was not constitutional, was not lawful in the absence of a declaration by Congress, and so the administration should have come to Congress. We will have a vote on a war powers resolution. But there's a reason to bring this to Congress, and it is you want the Congress bought in, you want the American people bought in on an action this substantial that could lead to a major outbreak of war.
So just to put a finer point on it, do you think the world is less safe this morning than it was yesterday?
I don't think, to be honest, Casey, there's any way for us to know. Anyone who says they can see into the future and what the Iranian response will be, whether it will claim American lives or whether there will be some change in the Iranian regime or new opening, a new opportunity, we simply don't know. We simply don't know. And I think because of that uncertainty, you don't want to take an action like this without a strong basis, that is, that Iran was imminently pursuing a bomb. And we simply don't have that intelligence, or if we do, it hasn't been shared with the Congress. And that last question asked of Hegseth at the press conference indicates he doesn't know either. He was asked, do we have some new intelligence? Is it our own intelligence? Or are we relying on Israeli intelligence for the conclusion that we had to take this strike now? And he simply said, well, the president looked at everything. That's really not an answer, but we will demand answers this week when we're briefed. In the absence of it, though, and not knowing what the future will bring and the consequences, this is an order that should not have been given.
So speaking of the constitutionality, legality of this, the reality, of course, Congress currently controlled by Republicans entirely. One of your congressional colleagues, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, wrote on the platform X last night that what the president did is, quote, absolutely and clearly grounds for impeachment. Given the limited tools available to Democrats in Congress, do you think impeachment is the right move here?
We've seen what a high bar there is to impeachment when one party in Congress, the Republican Party, is willing to work completely in lockstep with the president. I think the better remedy, frankly, is if Republicans will show any backbone whatsoever, is to pass a war powers resolution to prevent any further military action that is not purely defensive, that is designed to protect service members' lives, American lives, and our interests. That, to me, ought to be the most immediate step.
Senator, we of course have learned that Democrats on the Gang of Eight, that key group of top intelligence leaders in Congress, were not briefed ahead of these strikes while Republicans were. What is the significance of the failure to brief Democratic lawmakers?
Well, the failure to brief Democratic lawmakers, the making this just another partisan exercise by the administration when it comes to something as serious as the decision to potentially engage in warfare with another nation, it means that you're not going to have the whole country bought into this, which is a real problem. If everything goes well, then maybe it works out fine in the sense of not being an issue that tears apart the American people. But if things don't go well, if Iran retaliates, if we get in a escalating war with Iran, and you don't have the country bought in because the president didn't seek the approval of Congress, because he didn't make the case to the American people, because he didn't even inform one of the parties in Congress, that's when you have a real problem engaging in warfare on a partisan basis. So a lot of risks here for the country, which, is the reason why you come to Congress in the first place. It's the reason why our Constitution says Congress has the power to declare war, not the president.
Y lo puedo volver a repetir las veces que sean, amigos. Esto no es un incidente aislado, es parte de un patrón, como siempre. Trump ha gobernado desde el primer día como si las leyes no aplicaran para él, como si el poder fuese un juguete, como si todo se tratara simplemente de alimentar tu ego y beneficiar a tus amigos millonarios. Por eso es que hay que decirlo, alto y claro. Este tipo de acciones ilegales, irresponsables, peligrosas, no pueden seguir siendo normalizadas, porque los republicanos no podrían estar más desconectados de lo que la mayoría de la gente quiere en este momento. Hay que hablar de esto, hay que repetirlo, hay que exponerlo. Donald Trump no actúa por el bien del país, actúa por sí mismo. No le importa si en el camino te pone en riesgo a ti, a tu familia o al planeta entero. Muchísimas gracias por acompañarme hasta el final de este video. Recuerda, como siempre, dale like, compártelo con tus amigos y suscríbete a nuestro canal Políticamente Desacuerdo. Nos vemos en el próximo video. Hasta luego.